Okay, class. Hey, we're moving down to the final parts of our class here, and I wanted to give you some additional help for the midterm. It seemed like a couple of you were pretty overwhelmed with everything, so I've tried to lay it out in a more orderly fashion for you, and I'm going to go over my plan for this. And as always, if you have any questions, make sure that you email me or text me or call me or whatever. So here we go. Is it going to work here? Yes, there we go. So the learning objectives for this lab was to create motion programs to accomplish assigned tasks, assign position registers to store positional information, use position register element instructions to manipulate robot axis positions, prepare digital inputs to control robot programs, set up digital outputs to indicate robot functions, build a control program that uses wait instructions, unconditional and conditional branching. So this lab contains it all, and really this is going to be more like the final lab. I don't know that we're going to do much for a final lab because we've got so much stuff to cover here, and you have two certification exams to take in addition to this doing this lab. So we'll kind of play that by ear. But if you get this lab completed successfully, I have confidence that you've completed all the objectives of the course and met what the curriculum has set out for us to learn. So everybody's doing really well. I know it's just a lot to learn in a short time, and you don't have a whole lot of time to sit there and just play with the robots. So anyway, so here's some steps to successful completion for the lab. You're going to create 3 programs: a box, a triangle, and a circle. And these programs need to repeat 3 times each to make 3 of each shape. Use the offset command to move y-axis the correct distance. All shapes must be within the workspace and not overlap each other. Here are some examples of how to set up the offsets. I used PR30 in my test lab. You can use any blank position register on your machine, and I prefer that you pick a position register, so you have to look up by pushing the data key and then changing the type to position register, and then look through there and find a blank one. And you can label it if you want to or not. So each motion instruction will need an offset at the end. So when you do your motion instruction, make sure that you put the offset right there like I have. And you do that by just moving your cursor over there and then hitting as a F5 choice, F4, F5, whatever, choice, and selecting offset, and then put in your position register number. That's all you have to do for that part. But that needs to be done on each motion instruction. Remember that. Even when you do the circle instruction that has 2 parts, the circle instruction has 2 parts. It has a beginning and a destination. So you have to put that offset for both of them. And then when you're done teaching all the points, add this line of code to the program. Keep in mind that your position register and offset might be different if you use different numbers. And your offset, you're going to have to adjust that to fit on the workspace, on the whiteboard there that we have. So there's a position element instruction. And remember that the number 2 in this instruction represents y-axis, and that's what we're needing to shift. That rotates the robot, will be to the robot's left. We're moving y-axis in the positive direction. Remember to add your output lights to these programs to show each program is running, and you'll do that in each of the individual programs. turn off the output when the program is complete. Remember to turn on and off. Once you have all 3 programs working correctly, go to step 2. Step 2 is you're going to create the main program to control the 3 shape programs. So I noticed when we were doing the labs that a lot of you, by the time you got here, that you were pretty much frustrated and exhausted. So I've tried to help you with that a little bit by I've created a page of code that all you got to do is copy that over. Now, there's a catch to that, and I'll explain that here in a minute. So I'll give you a page of code that will show you how to set up your main program if that's what you choose to do, and you can make a choice on that. So the midterm lab help sheet. Using the help sheet will not lower your overall score, but completing the lab without using the help sheet will add 15-point bonus. So, if you know how to do it and you feel confident and you can get done in the 45-minute time limit and get full credit on the rubric for completing the lab, then there you go. You can do it without the help sheet. But if you ask for the help sheet, then, you won't get the 15-point bonus. That's the fairest way I could come up with it, and to help you actually learn some things and not get so frustrated that you can't get it put together. So the help sheet provides step-by-step instructions, which I just went through basically with you. That was the front page of the help sheet, and program code to create the main control program. So, and there's 2 different ways you can do that program. There's one way that you call the programs that set the data into your control register to select the other programs, or you can do it all within the same program using labels and jump label instruction. One has, if you use labels and jump labels, that puts about 25 lines of code in your program. If you do it by calling other programs, you can do it in like 15 lines. So, it's up to you. And either way you do it, you'll be graded. You'll receive full credit for it. Okay, so that's the midterm. And you can come. I'll be in the lab both days on Monday and Wednesday beginning at 3 o'clock. So you can come in anytime after that and do your lab. And once you get your lab done, then you can go home. There won't be any additional assignments. So you can, I know some of you can get there earlier than others. And if you do, that kind of helps free up the robots for people that get there later. So that's up to you, though, and I'll stay as long as needed for you to complete. Okay, so we've got 2 certification exams coming up. The SOCA 216 on the week of April 26th, and the FANUC NOCTI test on the week of May the 10th. You'll need to sign up for the NOCTI test at the testing center located in the Learning Center, and you set that up. You schedule that on your My Ivy page under course info. And let me pull out of here and see if I've still got, yeah. I'll pull that over here. Oh, come on. It don't want to go. There we go. My mouse is messed up. I should have restarted my computer because it's not letting me drag it very far. Okay, so if you go to My Ivy and then you're under student, you go to course info and schedule a testing appointment down there. And I know Glenn tried this Wednesday evening, and it wasn't, he could get to it, and it shows the tests there for you to take, but it wouldn't let you schedule. And I contacted Laura over there at the testing center on Friday, and she set it up. She sent me an email back pretty quickly and told me that she had it fixed. So you should be able to go ahead and schedule your testing appointment. I have that set up for the last week. Where's my thing here? There we go. I have that set up for the last week of the class, but anytime you feel you're ready, you can schedule and take it. And actually, the FANUC test is the easiest of all of the 3 certification tests. I took it last week. The only problem I ran into was there's quite a few questions at the end about RoboGuide, and I know how to use a RoboGuide, and I've used it quite a bit to help prepare some things for this class, but I haven't officially studied it, and I didn't know all the technical terms and all the steps to get to places in the program that they ask you questions about. So don't worry, we've got that study material in the rest of our curriculum here, and we're going to go over it in class for our lab time following the next week after the midterm lab. So we'll cover all that for you, and I think everybody will do just well. As far as the SOCA test prep page, there's not a whole lot in our curriculum that directly relates to the questions on that test. There is some things, and I am working on a practice test, and I hope to have that posted for you later. I'm not going to be able to do it today. This is Saturday that I'm recording this, but I will try to get it posted up by Sunday evening or sometime Monday before lab time. So you'll have a practice test, and there's already some documents on there that you can study that relates to some of the questions that they'll ask you. Like I told everyone, there's some questions about networking on there. There's some questions about assembly equipment like vibration bowls and powered conveyors and things like that we really don't have any material to study. And so I've added some things there under the SOCA test prep page. And I don't know if this will bring it up if I go to it. So, yeah, so there's certification prep, and there's some stuff about syncing and sourcing circuits there that you need to know. So if you've had PLC 1 anyway, you should know what syncing and sourcing means, but I've given you a document to look that up. And then I put some networking terms on a cram sheet there for you. And then I found a website that kind of explains part feeders for you. So hopefully that will help us prepare for that test. That is the most difficult test of the 3. So I'll try to help get you prepared for that as much as I can. And then the FANUC test prep is basically, get back there. What's happened here? Okay, yeah, sorry about that. The FANUC test prep is basically everything that we studied in the class, including RoboGuide. And you can find that if you go to your courses, go to your modules and go all the way down to the bottom of the page. And it says review for NOCD. So that's a handling tool operation in programming. And that's the book that we studied in the first part of the class, the FANUC Academy course thing. And so what I did to prepare for it, I just went back through and read all those again. And then you still have access to the first 8-week course, Robotics 1, and you can go back in there, and I think you can take all the tests again. I'll see if I can reactivate the final and the midterm for you. I just went through and retook all the tests that were available on there, and it really did help me prepare for it. So I think everybody's going to do real well on this. And again, that test covers everything that's in this book plus Robo Guide. And of course, we have some modules and some labs that we're going to do with Robo Guide that will hopefully help you prepare for it. I scored the lowest on the Robo Guide part of all the sections of the test, but I think the NOCTI test there is a fair assessment of what we learned. So I didn't mind that at all. So remaining study topics, we got the IR vision. Now, I don't know how many, if we're going to actually do any labs with that, because Joe had this stuff unpublished, and I just published it and stuck it in Module 9 because that was the field trip module, and we're not going to do that. So I thought it would be a good time to go through the IR vision stuff. So this may be more of just an informational study for you, but I'm going to see if I can get the robots working on vision. Now, I don't know that Joe did. I kind of got the feeling that they weren't working yet, but if I've got enough time and can figure it out, I'll try to get at least to do a demo of IR vision for you. And we do need to spend time in RoboGuide because that is on the certification, and it is a good thing to know. And then I'd like to go back over, if we have time, and set up again tool frames and user frames, because we kind of glossed over that at the beginning. We had some problems with it, but I think I've figured out most of that and we can work through it. But you really do need to know how to set up tool frames and the user frames. So that's it. And just let me know if you have any questions. Happy studying. I will hopefully get to the grade book tomorrow and get all that caught up. I'm sorry I'm behind on that. I'm going to be gone the rest of the day here, and I won't be back till later this evening. So I just wanted to get everything set up for you here. I know a lot of you study on the weekends. So again, if you have any questions, best thing to do is to text me. Send me a text, but email works too. So everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you this week in the lab. Take care, everyone.